Good morning, everyone. Please forgive me for the state of my hair. I can't find my comb anywhere, which is not really good, but hey ho. So I just wanted to come on and go over some tips about getting rid of the night feed. Now, I think the first thing when it comes to the night feed is you need to ask yourself, are you ready to cut the night feed out? Now, I don't recommend even thinking about cutting out the night feed before baby say 7 months. Now, some people do recommend by 6 months baby can sleep through the night without a night feed, but I don't recommend it before 7 months. I think for you personally, you might feel bad by doing it. You might not feel like the timing's right, etc., etc. But I think by 7 months, baby is definitely able to sleep through the night. And also check with your pediatrician or your midwife or anyone that gives you some information on your baby. Check with them to see if they think baby is ready to sleep through the night. Okay. Now with Hannah, my first child, it took me months, okay, to decide that I was cutting out the night feed. The first thing with her is I got rid of the dummy. Then I had awful issues with her up until 11 months when I finally decided I am cutting the night boob, okay? Because I read in loads of places that the only way baby's going to sleep through the night is if I cut out that night feed. So I decided and committed, like with all these things, when you're trying to change baby's sleep patterns, you have to commit to it, okay? So I committed that I was going to cut out the night feed. Now you have to literally go cold turkey with the night feed, and it sounds harder than it is, really, because the first night is the worst night, and it might take you 2 hours, it might take you an hour, it might take you half an hour, it might take you 10 minutes, just depends on baby. Okay, now you might think that when baby's waking in the night, baby's hungry, baby wants a meal. So you go and you feed baby, you burp baby, baby falls asleep on the boob, you put baby down back in the cot, and then in 2 hours baby's up again crying, and you feed baby again. And then you might find that you're up sort of 3 times in the night, and by the morning you're so exhausted, and then to try and be a mom for the rest of the day is really exhausting. So like I say, you really need to be ready for it and committed to it, okay? Now, some people, they go on a night feed, keep night feeding till 2 years of age. And I can tell you it's those moms that are really exhausted, but some babies just sleep through the night, they just do it on their own. But there's other babies, that will wake constantly. Now, my biggest tip with baby sleeping through the night is that baby must have no sleep props, okay? Baby shouldn't be going to sleep with a bottle, baby shouldn't be going to sleep breastfeeding, baby shouldn't be going to bed with a dummy. Now, these again are going to be hard things to take away from, but you can watch my other video I did on removing the dummy, okay? I would definitely, before you start thinking about night weaning, definitely look at how you're putting baby to sleep and how you're getting baby back to sleep when baby wakes in the middle of the night. You're probably, if you're still breastfeeding, putting baby on the boob, letting baby fall asleep, and putting baby back in the cot. And then you might find that baby wakes shortly after, or maybe 4 o'clock in the morning again. And I think after 6 months, 2 feeds at night, you tend to have a sleep association problem. So what I recommend is definitely getting them off the bottle, getting them falling asleep with their bottle, getting them falling asleep on their dummy, getting them falling asleep on the boob. And any other sleep associations they have, stop the rocking. If they're in a chair, stop that. Stop trying to get them to sleep in the car or the pram, okay? You need to, first of all, teach baby how to fall asleep on their own. I will cover that in another video, but this video is just going to give you an idea of how you can cut the night feed. So if baby is falling asleep on their own, you've done the whole steps to get them to fall asleep in their cot, okay? And then they're waking in the middle of the night. Now, the reason why they're waking is because of the fact that, they might have stirred, they're a bit lonely, maybe they're a bit cold, a bit hot, and then now they want mom. They want the comfort of mom, they want their feed, etc., etc. But what you need to do Okay, so this is only if you are getting baby to sleep without any sleep props. Baby is going to sleep on their own. So that's very important. So you need to first take the steps to get baby to sleep on their own. Second thing is you need to make sure that the environment that they fall asleep in is the exact same environment, that if they stir in their sleep, because babies stir in their sleep about 7 to 9 times during their sleep pattern, so do we, you know. Like sometimes you might wake up and found that you left a light on, and that's going to wake you up fully. So then you're going to get up and you're going to turn the light off and you're going to go back to bed, okay? So say for instance, baby went to sleep and it was really light in the room. Then come 9 o'clock, it's pitch dark. You know, that is a trigger to wake baby up fully. Everything has to be the same: the temperature, the lighting, the noise. Some babies aren't so sensitive to these things, but some babies are really sensitive, okay? Now, so that's another big tip, is you got to make sure that how they went to sleep is, if when they stir throughout the night, that the environment is the exact same, okay? Also, if they went to sleep with a blanket and you remove the blanket, that might wake them up. If you know they went to sleep without a blanket and you put a blanket on, that might wake them up, you know. If they went to sleep nice and warm and snug and they wake up and they're cold, that will wake them up, okay? Now, again, like I say, after 7 months, I would recommend. Okay, I'm not a trained pediatrician. These are only my personal experiences with baby. So, you know, definitely look into it, do some more research. But these are just tips that I've found over the years with my girls that have really, really helped. So definitely make sure that the environment that they're falling asleep in is the same when they stir. That's why when you do the whole getting them to sleep on their own, and finally you get them into the cot and you shush and pat them in the cot, you will find that they'll actually start sleeping longer once you start shushing and patting them in the cot. When you're shushing and patting them in your arm, you'll find that they're probably having cat naps, because when they're stirring, you're not there still shushing and patting, okay? So when you start shushing and patting in the bed, you might find that because they've fallen asleep laying down in their cot, that when they stir, they're still in their cot, they're in that position, and then they can help themselves get through to the deeper stages of sleep. So what you want to do is, when they wake in the night, when you would normally just rush in, give them the boob, you know, put them back down and let them fall to sleep. Now, if baby is having the one feed at say 2 p.m. and it's lovely, and then baby just wakes again in the morning, and you've got no problem with that, keep it going. You know, it's only when the night feed becomes an issue. It's only when you're waking, you know, sort of 2 to 4 times in the night, some even 7 times in the night, you know, that's when it's an issue, and that's when you need to start cutting out the night feed, okay? So what you want to do is, when baby wakes, where you would normally then feed baby, you want to do all you can to get baby to fall asleep without the boob, okay? So you want to, if baby's hysterical, you can try and shush and pat baby in the cot. Okay, but I found what I needed to do was, I had to pick up baby and walk around and shush and pat and shush and pat. And I mean, they both cried, they were both hysterical, both trying to, you know, like go for the boob, you know. But you've just got to commit to yourself and focus on the outcome, the fact that baby's going to sleep through the night. And always keep that going in your mind to give you the strength to keep going, because we're tired, we're exhausted. It's so much easier to just give them the boob, put them back to sleep, and you can get to go back to sleep. But that pattern is just going to continue and continue until you finally break it. And then, like I say, the first night is the worst. Baby will cry, baby will scream, baby will kick. Especially if you've got an older baby, they'll try and get out of your arms. But you want to do all you can to get baby to sleep on their own. Okay, so what I did with my girls is, eventually I picked them up, shushed and pat, walked around, rocked, shushed and pat. I did everything I can to get them to sleep without the boob, okay? And by the second night, even, you know, the second night with Eve, she didn't wake. Now, you've got to understand that baby's waking in the night because they know if they wake that mommy's going to come to them, mommy's going to comfort them, mommy's going to give them a little sip of milk, or give them a bottle, you know, or their dummy, you know, and that's going to comfort baby. But you need to sort of start teaching baby, you're old enough now, You need to sleep through the night. We all need our rest, okay? So again, do everything you can to get baby to sleep without the boob. And now every time, so say if you do that and baby wakes again in 2 hours, same story. Pick baby up, shush and pat, rock, shush and pat. You know, if baby's okay with you just shushing and patting them, that's fine. You don't want to start doing too much to try and get them to sleep because you don't want to get into a bad routine. So if they're happy with shushing and patting, just do that. If you find that just shushing and patting them in the cot, then eventually they go to sleep, do that. You know, it's sometimes like when Eve was sleeping in our room, she would wake and I would literally just shush her from the cot and she would go back to sleep. So you could do the same. You could even try and shush from outside the room. Now, it is quite normal for babies to wake in the night and even cry in their sleep. So try and wait a little bit. At least you don't want to wait too long. Okay, if baby starts getting hysterical, okay, I need to go in. But if you can hear it sort of a sleepy cry, maybe even if you have a monitor, check on baby, make sure baby's okay before you rush in. Because you'll find if you rush in and you start touching baby, stimulating baby, they will wake up fully. So the less you can do to try and get them through, the better. So you can start by shushing. If they're getting too hysterical, you can go there, you can stroke them in their cot, shush and pat, shush and pat. Again, too hysterical, pick them up, shush and pat, and then, when they're asleep, put them back down. And you will find they will wake so much less because you're not giving them the boob, okay? So that's so important. And then you want to keep doing that over and over until eventually you will find that baby will start sleeping through the night, because baby knows that if baby wakes up, she's just going to get shushed and pat by mom, and that's it. It's not going to be a nice milk party that she can have a great time with. So the first night is the worst night, second night gets a little bit better, third night gets extremely better, and by the third night she might even just sleep through. And you are going to feel like a new mom when baby sleeps through the night, okay? A lot of things that do happen when baby sleeps through the night is you might find that they tend to wake up earlier. So you might have to adjust things, and also your mindset for that, because I know you probably used to lying in because baby is woken 4 times in the night, and you used to baby lying in because she's woken so many times in the night. But because now she's sleeping the full 10 to 12 hours over the night time, you will find that she'll probably wake up earlier, okay, because she's well rested, she's had the sleep that she needs. So please let me know if you found this useful. I have an amazing group on Facebook called Golden Mommy. If you're having any sleep issues, please feel free to post in there. Find the group, join the group, and you can post any issues that you have in there, and I'd be happy to help with them. Please let me know if you found value from any of the videos, and please subscribe to my videos as well as share with any moms that are having issues. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching.